What's
Boat
up, bros?
We are here.
Yes, sir.
Sunday edition. We are all three here.
Yes. Wanted to be a little bit early today, so but yeah, because we have some things going on afterwards that we needed to kind of push this a little bit ahead. So
yes, sir.
It's all good.
Tad bit earlier today, but we're having a hard time trying to figure out a lot of things to talk about because it's off season. They ain't a whole heck of a lot talking about right now. A lot of players are doing their own camps, traveling around. I think I saw Derwin, Denzel, and Dayon Henley at the fight last night. I guess they were
there, huh?
Yeah,
Nice.
so they were out there doing their thing and all that. Speaking of a fight, I had a pickleball fight with the advanced group last night, or yesterday, I should say.
Ooh, what's up?
And I ended up getting second in the competition. So I got second place, got thrown into the higher brackets, and guess what? I make it happen. Get second place, baby. Let's go.
Hey, you podiumed. That's what's up.
That's right.
You
podium. I got on the podium. That's good for me. Let's go.
Yeah.
So that's good.
That's awesome. There's been some camps a couple of times too. Like I think Lad McConkey had a wide receivers camp that he was at down there in Southern California. And then Joseph Ade did something as well. A lot of the players or ex-players and coaches and stuff they're doing a bunch of stuff. So keep an eye out for that. If you got a kid, that's interested in football, that'd be an awesome opportunity to learn from some great players,
Yeah, it's also people are going to do a little vacation before the end of the start of the season too. So as soon as that happens, it's going to be
I did the same
focused.
thing. I did the same thing before my job. I just I need to get out and do a little something before I really hit the deep end. So yeah,
100%.
Harbaugh even talked about it too. He's like, hey, we're going somewhere tropical too. So you gotta disconnect for a little bit before you get right in the thick of things.
And shout out to the Thunderdome for catching him in the in Disneyland. He saw him out there and took a picture with him and stuff. So it was he was trying to run up incognito, not Chargers outfit, whatever. But he was like, still saw him. That's awesome.
That's
Too
great.
Funny.
That's great.
Too funny. But we got a little bit to talk about, guys. So we got some slides. So what we're basically going to talk about is how Justin Herbert's 2025 season went under Greg Roman, kind of key points based upon really a video that we saw from PFF. If you guys saw it, really good video of just a breakdown of scheme of things, mostly with the pass game more than anything, and how it benefited for Justin Herbert. So what can we expect for 2025? So looking forward to it. Looking forward to the season. We're almost a month away from first preseason game. So we are almost there, boys. Can't wait. So
actually, I think, isn't it a month away?
It's a month away.
It actually is
July. 31st of July. So about there. About there. So
it's gonna be exciting, guys.
Let's go.
Plenty to talk about.
Okay.
Let's get into it, guys.
Well, bros, let's
go.
Sam Kermit here, man. You watching the Boat Bros podcast. Stay tuned.
Charter blue dreams, stadium lights gleam. Boat Bros on the beat, lead stream. Chargers rocking speeds, Sonic supreme. From the podcast to the field, we're a team. Charged up, Boat Bros on the night. LA Thunder in electric delight. Bullets in the battle, sparking bright. Charged up, ride the lightning, feel the fright.
Oh man,
Nice.
All right, yeah. So we definitely got to figure out some new shots for that intro. Gonna keep that song though for sure, man. I think that's a banger.
That's the hit.
Oh, yeah.
That's the hit. Yeah, and the one thing too, like training camp tickets start going out on the 7th too for week 1. So think about that coming up. Obviously, it's not next week, but the week after, the following Monday. You know what? Get your tickets, guys, to the training camp. It's going to be an exciting time, fun time, and I think there's a lot to be excited about with this team coming up this year. So I'm excited about it. So
a lot of people also aren't really giving the team like what are we? Vegas says it's 9.5 or something. I think we were 9.5 last year.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting how we're not getting a ton of respect from around the league, which I kind of find kind of frustrating, but also a little bit like, okay.
Especially One of the
we have a harder
Chargers-
schedule though.
one of
Yeah.
the Chargers
Yeah,
sports
exactly.
writers at ESPN thinks that we're not going to win more than 8 this year. So
Yeah.
he's
Yeah.
very, I would say bearish.
Well,
throwing in my work terms and
yeah, bearish, very bearish.
Yeah.
I mean, the big part of it is like this is a harder schedule. Like, just look at the home schedule and who we're playing against. Now, I've been a fan of not saying like, hey, based upon what 2024, what these teams did, they'll be the same in 2025.
Sure.
The season adjusts and change, and that's the drama of an NFL season, that things shift very quickly week to week for everybody. So it's a tough schedule. It's a very tough schedule. And the thing is, last year we did not beat the good teams. And that's the big thing about this schedule, is that we have to beat the good teams to be able to be a good team. So you got to beat the best to be the best, right? So
that's right.
It's good. It's a very tough schedule all around. So, but I'm looking forward to the season. It's going to be a good one. So,
yeah. We need to kind of do some in-depth analysis on all the teams that we're playing against. So, like, it's very possible that we may be able to, those other teams were good last year, but they are potentially not going to be as good this year as they were last year,
Yep.
So, so they could have had a very soft schedule as well. So, it's very possible that we could do even better than we did last year, and that's what my hope is for sure. So, and I'm probably going to put another bet in for Chargers beating 9.5 this year for sure.
Yeah, dude, you did all right with that bet, didn't you?
Yeah, I did. We turned. I think we turned 200 into 375 or something like that.
Hey,
let's go. That's right.
Let's do it.
yeah, no doubt. No, that was a good little bet, dude. I mean, you made that bet last June, I believe, when we did that. We were in Vegas,
about the same time. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was
Hell
awesome.
yeah.
But it worked out.
Yes, sir.
And just to jump into the slides real quick too, I know the training camp talk too is that we're supposed to have an alternate jersey of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're supposed to have alternate helmets too, to be able to be used this year too. Now, a lot of people kept saying, hey, like, this might be a leak from Omarion Hampton of him doing these autographs of all the helmets there, of those yellow helmets. And that helmet has been around for a while. I've been seeing in like larger form and smaller form helmets of the yellow based helmets.
Yeah.
But is this like a mystery here? Mystery music?
Yeah, it's drama. Yeah.
Drama.
Drama. Yeah, it's drama.
It's a drama.
But,
yeah.
I don't think this is going to be the helmet, in my opinion. Now,
or the uniforms.
Or the uniforms. Yeah, people are like saying, are you going to be like a mustard from top to bottom, basically?
Yeah,
and,
right.
That would be a little strange, but
Nuprin, little.
Again,
yellow,
I would never want to be. Yeah. Never want to be just mustard from top to bottom. It would look so terrible.
The Heinz 57s, the French, the Los Angeles French team.
Yeah.
Banana bolts. Actually, that kind of works.
Banana bolts.
Savannah Bananas. We're doing a collab with Savannah
Bananas.
Yeah.
Hey,
that would be funny. That would be funny.
But you're right.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that.
It shouldn't be. I mean, I'm pretty sure those yellow helmets have been an alternate that people can get like on the side for years and years. So yeah.
Yep. I think that's all it is.
Very unlikely, but we just felt like we should address it. So.
Yeah, I mean, and once again, we don't have any insight on this or anything too, but at the same time, we've known this has been around for a while. But that would be kind of funny if it does become all yellow. It'd be very contrasting of what Matt Money Smith wants, is getting rid of the navies, and then all of a sudden we go full yellows, basically. So that would be quite hilarious to be able to see something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is going to be it. So we'll see. But I mean, once again, that's going to be released the beginning of training camp, the day before training camp to the public, essentially. Yes, it makes me think that the Chargers might have jerseys already for sale at camp for the new jersey too. So I wouldn't be surprised. That's the first time you could basically get hands on to the new jersey first day of open camp. So
Nice.
that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I mean, yeah, because we'll all see it. I mean, I've been in some group chats where we've kind of talked about it a little bit because they did pull the yellow practice jersey, or actually sunshine gold practice jersey away. They haven't done it yet in minicamp, so it's possible that they're bringing that in. I don't know.
Yeah,
my bet is still on the refresh or modern refresh of the Royal from the 80s.
I agree.
Or 70s. I think it's right. Yeah, 70s.
Yeah, it's the one that I had was from 81. Kellen Winslow, which ironically I was looking around on eBay just looking at throwback like jerseys from there, and I found a pretty dope Fouts jersey that I'm like, that'd be kind of cool to get one from the 80s. That'd be dope.
Yeah.
That'd be real dope.
That'd be sick.
But yeah, I think it's going to be a refresh, and I think that would be a pretty good fit. So
yeah, that's my take.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah, kind of a revamp of some of the old favorites, right? Everyone loves those jerseys, man. I mean, they look so good. So, yeah.
And I think we're undefeated in the Royal, right? Like, I think we have a pretty amazing record with the Royals, like recently, since 2020.
Yeah, we've lost in the Navies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only defeated.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were completely defeated in the Navy. So
yeah.
Get rid of it, bury it, call it a day, move on, kind of thing. But I like the Navies. I think the Navies are great.
You can keep the Navies, but then put the white bolt inside of it. Make it classic.
There you go.
90s style.
That would be dope.
Do it that way, and that'll be fine.
Yep, no doubt. That would be great. We'll see shortly. So I mean, moving on. We got basically Sean Merriman giving out free game at Sack Summit. So he was out there kind of teaching the young bucks about the game and everything there too, and just kind of just tips and tricks on how to be a better edge rusher and everything too. Bud Dupree was also in attendance for this one from what I saw based upon their Instagram. But it's kind of the same idea of tight end university, but these are just for the edge guys for the NFL. So they get together and everything too. That's Taylor Swift didn't show up to this one because her boyfriend wasn't there. So sorry, guys. Sorry, out there.
Hold up, though. Is that Max Crosby there, like on the left?
Yeah.
Oh man,
I think he actually puts together Sack Summit. I think he's one of the guys.
Yeah, he might be. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of these players, I mean, that's where they make extra money too. It's just kind of a side little thing that they do and come down and meet some people and So yeah.
And the guy in the red white hat is Chris Long too, so he's also a part of it too. So there's just a little committee that puts it all together. But it's cool to see that there's these little camps after basically off-season training is done that players could come together and just learn from each other and everything too. And it's everybody's got their team that they dislike. Obviously Raiders. We don't really like the Raiders by any means, but at the same side. We're learning based upon each other, and we're kind of like bouncing ideas off of each other. And still, it's one big game that everybody's playing. And I don't think there's any ill will towards anybody or anything like that. But everybody's just trying to be better. I mean, that's how you elevate the game, right?
Well,
I have a funny Raiders story. Not funny, but just kind of like ironic and interesting. There's a guy that runs our league on Friday for softball. And he's a huge Raider fan. Like, he shows up with like flags on his car and all this other stuff. Good dude. His name's Carlos. Nice guy. I've always enjoyed chatting with him. I give him crap all the time for being a Charger fan. And I'm like, oh, your team's going to win 3 games this year. It, blah, blah, blah. Whatever. We're just being, mess around. Anyways, he goes, hey man, you seen this? And he apparently has dentures. I didn't notice that. But he goes like this. He shows me the bottom of his dentures, and he has a Raider logo in the bottom of his dentures.
Oh my gosh!
I've
never seen anything like that. I was like, "Yo, that is crazy."
That's funny.
I could not even believe it. I was like, "I cannot believe I'm seeing this." Dang. But you go to his house. You got to take a shower after you leave because there's just Raiders everywhere. You're like, "What is going on here?" Like, I'm a barf in your.
Did he lose those teeth in the prison, like that? Someone like smashed them so that way they couldn't bite,
But it was just hilarious. Every time I hear Raiders, I'm not gonna look at Raiders any I'm gonna look at them very differently now. But I was
gonna say this. I mean, you're right though. Like the players really don't have any ill will towards each other. Like they'll have banter you know,
little bit here and there,
as competitiveness and stuff like that, you know, like, and they'll get in each other's face about like playing a little dirty or something like that, you know, but the only people that really have like ill will towards other like people are fans, you know, like, because like, you know, because they're all millionaires, you know, so it's like, what do they care, you know?
Well, and again, they're just out there as a team, you know, that's all that matters to them. They, you know, you might say, well, I grew up a Charger fan, but now I live in Las Vegas and I play for the Raiders. Okay, well, I guess I'm a Raiders fan now, you know,
right.
It's your team that matters to you, so it's a very different mindset for sure.
Yes,
big time. Yeah. But it's always good to be able to see players come together, you know, and do their thing before the hustle and the bustle of the 2025 season. So, and it's cool to see, you know, Sean Merriman out there doing his thing in some Charger shorts, by the way, too. So he's
look at that. Hey, let's go.
Bolt right there at the bottom there. Okay,
Bolt, dude. Right. So he's doing his thing, but it was it's cool to see.
He bolted up.
Oh yeah. But
you know, he's got to rep. He's got to rep it. That's all good.
Got to rep, man. He's a Charger for life, dude. Charger for life, dude. So, you know, and to move on a little bit too, this is actually something coming up next weekend. So if you are at the San Gabriel Valley Bolt Tribe area in Rosemead, California, there's actually a Facebook link at the bottom there too that you could go there and check it out. We'll put it on like our posts on YouTube. But 4th of July parade and celebration event. So kind of wild when you're reading into this thing. You're like, man, what am I seeing here? Is this whole thing that's going to be happening where, you know, you got a carnival, you got swimming, you got a fireworks show.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, what is happening here? I was thinking this is just a backyard type thing or whatnot, but sounds like there's going to be a full-blown thing going on there. So potluck style, limited parking. I'm assuming that this is in some sort of park because it's behind a skate park. So if you want to grip and rip and get a little potluck style carnival thing going on, hey, you got a skate park there too. So
get a Sandlot style skate park situation going. We're like, dude, that'd be dope. Yeah,
hanging out in the bowl, just watching some fireworks shows going on above you, dude.
Sir.
It'd be great, dude.
That'd
While
be
eating
awesome.
a glizzy, bro. You could be eating a glizzy in the bowl, dude.
Glizzy, dude.
Yep.
I think it's hilarious. My niece and nephews always call hot dogs glizzies all the time.
Really?
All right, dude. All right, bud. All right. I need a Costco glizzy. Okay.
Cool kids are calling them now. Call them glizzies, dude.
It's called glizzies now.
That's gonna be your new nickname. I'm gonna call Glizzy from now on. Actually, I'm gonna call my buddy Jason Glizzy. That's a good name.
That's a good name. Yeah, it's a good name.
That's all he eats.
That's all he eats. Yeah.
His barbecue. His blood type is barbecue sauce. So yeah, his name's Glizzy from now on.
Shoot.
Oh man, Glizzy.
What's up, Glizzy?
Dude, that's great. I say,
but yeah, it's a good group though. The San Gabriel Valley Bolt Tribe. Yeah, like I hung out with them quite a bit. They're a great group. So it seems like it might just be connected to an actual like thing that happens in Rosemead, but they want to just bring other people, from the Chargers community out there together.
That makes sense.
So, yeah. So
yeah. So pretty cool, man. Pretty cool to see. So, but if you want to get bolted up, I mean, next month, just a couple days from now. We'll be in the month where football is back. Training camp is less than 2.5 weeks away.
Yes.
So football is back. We are going to have an NFL game, Hall of Fame game, the end of July. So this is going to be awesome month to basically start getting the season rolling, guys. So we're excited about it, guys. So
and who's going to be going to training camp as well too? Like in the comment section below, let us know because like we're still trying to figure it out. We'll probably go after our family reunion initially, and we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah,
but
the week of the training camp, we will be leaving family reunion. So it's kind of we're trying to figure it out. I mean, I think it's going to be second weekend for us, or at least Andrew and I we chatted about it, but we're trying to figure it all out. So we are going to announce that once we get that locked up and ready to go for whatever plans we go with. So. And speaking of training camp, you got basically the 19th. There is a high voltage live training camp lightning rally at Sauced, 7 p.m. on July 19th. So very good time to basically once again get bolted up for the season, get ready for the season, and it's going to be really exciting, guys. I mean, the 19th is coming up soon, so that is going to be the first weekend of training camp and a good way to basically get together with your Bolt bros and Bolt Bolt girls, boat chicks, boat whatever it is,
Boat Familia. Yeah.
Boat Familia. And then this is a good one too. This is the second weekend. There's another setup for this of July 26th. Electric Avenue has a special guest, Anthony Miller, 5-time Pro Bowler, who is an absolute stud. We love him. And we've interviewed him and stayed connected with him too. Going to be awesome. Also, there's some Peruvian food. If you don't know about Peruvian food,
ooh, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing.
I am there.
Oh yeah.
Give me some lomo saltado. Let's go. I am all about that game. So this is at the Boardroom Brewery in El Segundo. So it's going to be kind of more of the downtown area, not too far away from the Bolt. 7 to 10 p.m. That would be an amazing, amazing time to be at that event. So that is on the 26th. So it'll be a good one. Great food too, and you get to meet a legend.
Awesome. Yep.
Anthony Miller's a good dude too, man. We talked about it a bit.
We're still trying to campaign to get Anthony Miller in the Chargers Ring of Fame there.
Yes.
Yeah, he needs to be one of the top guys in there. Yeah. So he's an outstanding receiver. Look at that, 5 times Pro Bowler, played with some of the greatest quarterbacks of a generation. And like just lights out. Like he actually was talking about it to us. Remember this? Like he was he was saying that he would easily be able to run like a 4.2 or something like that, if he had the combine or something like that in his prime. So
yeah, I mean, you watch his footage and what he did, man. He was an absolute stud. I mean, the guy was just out there every season, just giving his all, and he played with some great quarterbacks. Elway.
Yep.
To what's the guy at Dallas too? Aikman. Yep.
Stan
Humphries. So
yeah,
pretty good stuff, man. Pretty good stuff, dude. He had a great career. So yeah, hopefully we could be able to be there and be able to meet up again with Anthony Miller and connect with him. So
yeah,
super cool,
love
dude.
It.
It'll be good to see. I wouldn't mind these being the uniforms right here, just like that, something like that. Look pretty sharp. It'd be interesting to see. I'm hoping they do the throwback. I want them to do a throwback. That's what I want to see.
Yeah, and the players saw the jerseys; they were pretty amped about them, man. So I'm excited to be able to see what they're all about. I mean, I assume we probably won't have an announcement of the jersey schedule essentially till probably a little bit deeper into training camp.
Sure.
I assume.
Yep.
But we will see the new jersey very, very soon. So July is a big month, guys. Football season's back, in my opinion, in July. So I can't wait. So, but we'll keep you guys posted on all the events too. But this is the first 2 weekends events, and we'll post it on our YouTube too if we've already not done that. So
yep,
we'll keep you guys updated on that. I know on Instagram too, we've put it on some stories and also too. So great way to basically go out there and hang out with some Bolt bros and Bolt sisses and Bolt babes
people
too. So peeps.
Right.
So
Bolt
good
peeps.
stuff. Yeah.
Hang on a sec. We got Larry A up in the house, so he requested his entry music.
Oh, you gotta give him that huck too and spit on that thing.
Bro, dude, that girl had her 15 minutes of fame. That's a wrap. That's a
and
wrap.
She's going to jail now. She's going to jail.
She made millions of dollars though, man. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. It's funny because the amount of charge that she's going to get charged for doing that might be just a speeding ticket for the amount of money she made too. So I don't really know the whole breakdown of it is, but man, whatever. She did her thing and she's out. She's about to get hocked to the jail potentially here for a bit,
Heck to. Yeah, it's gonna be good stuff.
Yep. Yeah, it'd be good stuff. So, but to talk about what we are here to chat about, I should say, talk about a little bit of like what Justin Herbert did in 2024, kind of his stats and everything too. And I don't know if anybody in the chat saw this video, but PFF did a really good breakdown. It's kind of talking about quarterbacks all around in the league and where they rank Justin Herbert specifically. And they ranked him at basically, I think, quarterback 6, top 6 basically is where they put him at. But I mean, the same side, they pointed out a lot of really, really good things about what Justin Herbert did last year. Well, which statistically, you could pretty much say he had his best year in the NFL under Greg Roman, even though a lot of people were getting a lot of heat on Greg Roman. So, but he played well. And he played well with less weapons is the big thing too. So that's going to be a big key, because go back to what they did in the draft. They got young. They went heavy on offense. They're giving him as many weapons to basically grow what he did in 2024 to have an even better 2025. So
Yes,
Yeah.
sir. Yes.
it's great stuff. So I'm looking forward to seeing what 2025 could bring up to him. But
Well, I
thoughts
think
before I jump into that.
wide receivers are going to be really important, right? I'm just
Exactly.
saying the rookies that they picked up are on Gadsden. We haven't seen anything with KLS yet. He's been injured the whole time. By the way, speaking of which, they did talk about Brandon Rice and how Brandon Rice might not make the squad. I know people don't want to hear that, but I think part of the reason why that is the case is he wasn't really – apparently he was injured quite a bit last season. So
Yeah.
it's part of the sheer reason why he never even saw the field. So part of the argument is, again, the best availability is availability, and if you can't play, you're not going to be that great. So if he could stay healthy, maybe he has a shot at making the squad.
Right.
But look, Harris looks good. KLS we haven't evaluated yet, but we'll see what happens with we all know what McConkey can do, and QJ is looking a lot better as well too. So, anyways, I just think it's going to be a tight wide receiver room. But if we can get these rookies to hit and be anywhere near where Ladd McConkey was, we're going to be in fine shape.
Yeah.
Shape.
And that's the thing. In the chat too, just to throw out there, list out the wide receivers here. You got obviously Ladd McConkey, who's an absolute stud. Mike Williams, who we know what he is and what he's been in the past. Can he get back to that point?
If he's healthy, yes.
Yeah, can he get back to that point?
Yeah.
Quentin Johnston, too. My opinion, I watched a lot of the Justin Herbert highlights from 2024. He made a lot of plays. It's just thing is, we remember the mistakes all the time.
Yep.
And that's the thing. Can he get to that third level of, Quentin Johnston and be that guy that shows up when it matters most and make those catches when he can or when he needs to at the critical time of the game? Then you got obviously Trey Harris, new guy that has great ability all around. Potentially could be a guy that you could say, hey, look, I feel like he could be like that T. Higgins for us, in my opinion. He could be that very, very good, solid wide receiver too, which is a very built out wide receiver room. Darius Davis obviously got, Rager is another guy that people have been talking a lot about. He's got ability. He's a first round pick kind of guy. Can they pull a lot out of him too? Would you guys say that those wide receiver group is an upgrade at this point from last year to this year? Yes, I would agree. Yes.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Yeah.
We only had Ladd McConkey last year. I mean, Quentin Johnston was good, but he was up and down at times, know. So
he struggled in some critical situations, but not even just wide receivers though, but like Oronde, Gadsden, and Conklin are massive increases to the weapons that Justin Herbert has now at his disposal, So, yeah.
It's funny about Conklin, and I shared it on my Instagram. I don't know if Kyle shared it on our Bowl Bros or not, but there was a meme about Conklin and, showing his routes that he was working on and everything too. Yeah. And there was a meme saying like, what I do when I get home to try to like avoid my dogs or something like that. And it's all these shucking and jiving and everything like that too.
Yeah.
It's so funny, but there's a lot of hype about Conklin too. Mm-hmm. I mean, going to that tight end group, it really is going to be one of those groups that could be an elevated group. Will Dissly outplayed what we expected from him last season too. So it's really, really good of a group all around offensively. And let's just jump into real quick on the stats.
Well, and we're going to pound the rock too quite a bit too. And if you get a running game, because again, show the stat right here on this show that real quick, because it talks quite a bit about the play action numbers, which is huge,
which is massive. So once again, passing grade, Justin Herbert was third in the league at 90.2. That is big for him. Mm-hmm. And this is actually, and I want to say in the video, they said that this is all the highest stats that Justin Herbert's had in his career in 2024. So statistically, he had his best season last year in 2024 with less weapons. With less weapons is what you want to always remember.
He was banged up all season too.
Right. So hot take, I think Justin Herbert's going to have his most healthiest season for a lot of reasons in 2025. I think he's going to have a fantastic season. He's going to play very, very well all season. And even to say last year, when I'm watching a lot of these videos of his highlights and highlight throws and everything too, obviously I like to look at the lowlights too. But this is going to be a much more balanced and much more firepower that he's going to have in 2025 all around. So One thing that they did throw out there too, big time throw rate, 5.7%, sixth in the league too. So basically big throws downfield. We're going to show off some of the plays that Greg Roman had with the routes that the wide receivers ran and tight ends and everything too. But it shows that they want to have these downfield throws. Go back to Justin Herbert 2023 to I'll probably actually say 2020 to 2023-ish. Check down Charlie was his thing, right? Yep. He wanted to not throw the ball downfield. He wanted to give it to Austin Eckler so he has 100 catches a game. Just check down Charlie kind of thing was the big thing. We didn't do a whole heck of a lot of that last year. So don't expect that we're going to do that. It's going to be ball downfield, not ball sideline to sideline, behind the line of scrimmage, in my opinion.
Well, they're going to keep that play action pass, though, James. That's the whole point. Because then you suck them in, and then they can't sit on the run the entire time. And if you don't respect the run, you can't throw the ball over the top, right? So if we can get our running game going the right direction, it's the whole point. And if you look at the plays we're going to show, it's 100% set up off of the running game. So if you can't, if they're not respecting the run, then guess what? You're not going to have a good opportunity to throw the ball downfield. You're going to make more dangerous throws. That's probably a better way of saying it, right? It's going to be much more difficult to get the ball down the field. So, they complement each other. That's why Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton and potential Raheem Sanders and Kamani Vidal matter so much. Well, and the offensive line for that matter, right? Protecting Herbert.
Big time. And that's the thing, going back to the offensive line, that's where I feel like Justin Herbert's going to have his most healthiest season. I think Mekhi Becton was going to be a big, big factor to the run game and to the pass game protection side of things. So that's going to be big. Now, obviously, the question marks are, okay, who's going to be the center? Who's going to be the left guard? That'll be sorted out. But I think the thing is, Rashawn Slater likes to be on an island and he doesn't want help. It's really just going to be two guys that are center, or two guys that will be essentially potentially centers. Zion Johnson and Bradley Bozeman, I assume, is going to be the guys who are the locks at this point, intertwined between center or left guard with those guys. So I think personally it's going to be a really, really good setup for Justin Herbert to have a phenomenal season. Going down with his stats a little bit too, play action passing grade, just to your point. If we got a run game, the play action passing grade is only going to get better. He was first in the league last year. He's been a phenomenal player in the play action for years. I think basically since he's been in the league, he's been one of the tops in play action passing all around. So, which is great. Passing grade on 10+ yard targets, just to say, depth of target, depth of throw. He wants to throw the ball downfield, which we will show you some plays that are literally showing he's going to do a lot of 10+ yard target type throws, a lot of downfield. None of these behind the line of scrimmage type situations. Constantly get the ball downfield, bottom line. And I think we got a lot of wide receivers and tight ends that could really help us out for that this year too. So passing grade under center, first in the league, 94.6. Interesting thing, Justin Herbert in college never was under center. He was always in shotgun formation. So he basically got thrown in the NFL. You got to be under the center. That changes things up quite a bit. He was possibly not being utilized quite well in the college rankings too. So,
well, he ran the ball a lot more there too as well, James.
Right.
Yep.
It's a different offense. I mean, it's a completely different offense. I think that's where what you're kind of missing on this too is that it's a very different offense than he ran in college, right? So this is why teams have a hard time evaluating players, because they say, well, we run an offense this way and we're not under center all the time. We are shotgun formation, right? And so so that's where when the draft, I just think it's funny because that's where when you evaluate players, like you can't evaluate them the same way. Does this person fit with our team? And that's the question, right? I mean, look at some of our players that we picked at the very end of the draft. Our 7th round draft picks, they played every defensive back position 100%, right? So they're not just a safety. They're not just a cornerback. They're, so anyways, it's very interesting, but that's what we want. We want players that can play a number of different positions.
Yep. Big time. Yeah, and then Justin Herbert has accelerated quite a bit, being in an offense that was less than what we have at this point. And it's great to see these type of things. I mean, and once again, Greg Roman talked a lot about it, that he wants Justin Herbert to run the ball a little bit more. I think it's more just being aware about not going through multiple different reads when he knows, hey, I have an opportunity to get you 7 to 10 yards right now with my legs versus like, hey, maybe there's a little bit of issues going through all my reads of all my players out there that, hey, I could just get you some yards and move along from there. So take what you could get kind of thing. And I think that's what Justin Herbert could do. Yeah. Go back to the 2024 highlights of Justin Herbert. He ran the ball pretty well all around. He did have some long rips at very, very clutch times in games too. So I think they're just trying to make sure he's a little aware. Obviously, he was hurt for a good portion of the time, couldn't run that well and everything too. He was a little bit more stagnant early on in the season, but as he got healthier, he was a little bit more smarter with his legs all around.
Yeah. I feel like, at this, like I've mentioned it before, though, like I would prefer him to scramble, but not to run out into the open field at all, like as much as possible. Like you can scramble around, pull a Patrick Mahomes situation, whatever, but you're passing it. Don't run it, please.
Yep.
I don't want no injuries, please.
Yeah, nobody
Lord,
wants that.
Please, no.
No injuries, please. Yeah. But I think
But that's an aspect of his game that is really going to be better for him, though. If he can get that going, again, it just adds another wrinkle to it. I think you could see some RPO type stuff as well too.
Agreed.
The repass option is what he did a lot in college. I don't know that they're going to do that. You don't see a ton of it in the NFL, but again, we got a lot of running backs too. So you could set up like guys. You could do like wishbone, two running back sets, and just go fat jumbo and just toss one way, toss the other. I mean, there's just a lot of ways you could run it. You could get very creative with the running game with the amount of players we have right now, especially we could stack up the backfield and just play bully ball. Like, I think that's what they want to do. They just want to smash the ball. I mean, you got to be big to be on this team. I mean, you just do.
Yeah, and that's the key. I mean, everything was about being bigger all around. And I mean, even to say when you go into say Bradley Bozeman and Zion Johnson, it's not like they're small dudes by any means. They're still 6'4", 6'5" type dudes. They're big guys. We have a big offensive line. Somebody threw out some question, I think, to Chargers Weekly talking about, well, what if you put Trey Pipkins in there too? You basically add another 6'5", 6'6" type dude next to Slater and all that. I mean, Slater's a little bit smaller in the size of a left tackle, but the guy's, he's locked down.
His base is super strong. Super strong. So go back to his video when he was out in Northwestern or whatnot, and he was just freaking lifting crazy weight, deadlifting crazy weight out there. So the guy is super strong. The guy's fit like a fiddle, dude. He's, he's part of that,
That's what's up.
part of that elite 9 or elite 10 or whatever amount of people that it's growing out to at this point. So, but once again, we're going to have an extremely solid O-line too. So I'm excited about seeing how this whole team meshes together for 2025.
And we've said this 100 times, but Zion Johnson's going to be the starting center. I really do think he will be. We could argue all day that he shouldn't be, but look, Bozeman's played left guard.
Yep.
And so I think moving him to left guard, he sits as a left guard a lot better because Zion is more athletic and fast and smaller. He's just a little undersized to be a guard, in my opinion. I think that's what we saw a lot last year. But I think the question mark was, can he get him the ball? He's got to get him the ball effectively. So, as long as there's no, problems with snapping the ball to Herbert, we should be okay.
And I'll one last point here about like the O-line too. Carlos Charges in his comment down there saying Joe Alt and Mekhi Becton are going to bully D-lines. I remember multiple times last year that we would just run the ball to the right side all the time.
Yeah.
I felt like we just did not get enough why Mekhi Becton is going to be such a big pickup is because he is a guy that is an absolute bulldozer. And the guy will basically allow a lot of holes there too. And you go and hear about what season 2 Joe Alt's going to be. He sounds like he's going to be a different dude this year.
Yeah.
And he obviously is phenomenal against the pass. He struggled against the run, but guaranteed year 2 Joe Alt could be a guy that could potentially push for a Pro Bowl. It would be crazy if he could get to an all-pro level too.
He should.
Yeah,
the fact that he wasn't was really annoying. He should have been there as a rookie.
Absolutely.
So a lot of people keep talking about Sheriff and also like, was it Martinez? Is it Martinez? Is that the other guy?
Yep. Well, there's Hernandez too.
Hernandez. Yeah, Hernandez. Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So I just don't think we need him, right? I mean, you could argue all day that we can, but you're going to spend a lot of money on a veteran offensive lineman when you got Jamari Sawyer, who has really made everyone happy. And he's like our 7th offensive lineman. And then you got the rookie that we signed. I'm drawing a blank on his name for the life of me.
Brennan Taylor?
Taylor, yeah. Everyone's hyped on him, dude. Guys, a lot of people thought he was actually going to be a much higher draft pick. The only reason why he dropped was because he had injuries, right? So the injuries were just banging him. So, they said, well, they had him graded extremely high, right? And he could be an easy tackle, as good as, Pipkins or anybody else, right? So then you got Pipkins, right? So there's 3 players right there that could step into a lot of different positions. So when you say, hey, let's go sign one of these veterans, it's kind of a waste of money, right? There's probably other places that would make more sense over alignment, at least in my opinion. So
no, and I get it, and I understand going after Sheriff too. I mean, it's kind of a tried and true type player, and a guy that obviously has got a lot of accolades out there too, that has Pro Bowls and all these different things too. And I think that's the idea, is getting a veteran guy that could just go out there and make it happen versus we might have a situation here. But that's where I feel like the offseason whole practices and being together, getting the camaraderie with each other and everything too, really helps, the offensive line gel previously before you go into training camp. So
the other thing too
is in training camp might shift things around a little bit.
Does he even want to be here too, right? If he's going to be here 1 year, does he really want to even be in LA? Maybe he doesn't want to be in LA. I mean, you can say what you want to say, but these guys can sign in other places, right? So maybe they want to live elsewhere, who knows, right? So, hey, taxes ain't great in California. We all know that, right? I mean, goodness gracious.
Yeah. Wow. Well, there's a lot of gas tax about the hit.
Gas is going up like crazy too. I was hearing it might be like $10 a gallon here pretty soon.
Yeah. Right. Well, I don't know if you guys did see, but Austin Eckler kind of came out recently about his situation with leaving the Chargers. Well, he wanted to actually get his extension signed his final year, but the Chargers were like, nah. And then he's like, okay, let me trade. It's like, okay, yeah, we'll let you trade, but we want a 1st-round pick for you.
Yeah.
And so he was like, dang, for real? So, you don't want to pay me, but you also don't want to, you really just So that was kind of a whack thing. Yeah. So, a lot of that can happen too.
Yeah, well, that's a great point, though. But the reality is, and that's the hard part of the NFL. You don't want him to leave because you want him to retire a Charger. But the problem is his value. He's what was he, 30-something? Yeah, 30-something running back?
I think 28 years old at that point or something. Yeah.
His last year? No, he's older than that, isn't he?
Well, he's definitely older than that. He's like 31, 32, I believe.
Yeah, he's like 32, yeah. So at that age, he's 30 now. Okay, so he's 30. So 30-year-old running back, his size, anyways, it's tough. But it's interesting.
And I understand what he was talking about. What he was trying to do is capitalize because he came off 2 seasons of 20+ touchdowns.
That's true. That is true.
Really good, Yeah. So he's trying to capitalize on that too. But either way, on with that. And speaking of our running backs, I think we got a very good running back room. By the way. I think it's a major upgrade in a lot of ways too. I was thinking a little bit about this, and this is going to be kind of like, hey, in the comments below, do you feel like we did actually get an upgrade in the running back room? I feel like if you kind of compare to what we had in 2024, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, I feel like Gus Edwards was that hammer kind of guy. J.K. Dobbins was that lightning kind of guy. Do you feel like we have that now with Najee Harris and Omarion Hampton? Yes,
I think we're good. I don't think we need anybody else. And I think these are. By the way, I gotta say this: we need to act like we need humanoids, or is that hemorrhoids?
Yeah, I think it might be. Might be a typo. I read it as hemorrhoids. Okay. I read it as hemorrhoids as well. I was like, oh, okay.
I just had to highlight it. Go ahead. Yeah. So.
But I think we got a big upgrade in running backs too all around. I think we got that thunder. I think we got that lightning. Everything you're hearing about Omarion Hampton right now so far has been really, really good. Now, it'll be interesting to see what we're doing in preseason. Are we going to put Omarion Hampton out there? Are they going to let him do his thing? Like LaDainian Tomlinson, when he was drafted, they let him go out there and run around on preseason too. So it's going to be interesting to see what they're going to end up doing with the running back room. But I think we have a phenomenal amount of weapons up and down our O-line, our offense this year. So I'm excited about this season. So just to jump into the video real quick, just to show off one of our plays.
Before we talk about this really quickly, the sales taxes, I should have taken a photo with a slide, but it broke down Justin Herbert's dollars that he gets actually off of his contract, because he's supposed to make, let's see, he'll make like guaranteed salaries like 60 million. After taxes, it's like over half of that is gone.
Yep.
It's crazy, dude.
Right.
And if he lived in any other state, it was like he'd take home a lot more money than that, right? And I just thought, oh my gosh, I couldn't even believe that.
Really makes me wonder is like why players don't have a business structured setup where like, they are, set up the money goes to like a trust or like then a holding company or whatever like that, so they
something else.
avoid taxes as much as possible and stuff like that, but back to that quick point here. NFL Mike in the chat made a good comment here is that every career keeper 100-yard rushing game the Chargers have won. So if we can get our consistent production, then we're easily going to be 14-win season, and and that's a fact, man. Yeah.
Again, sets up the play action pass. Go ahead, Jim.
And one thing too, Dante Whitner brought up a point about that too. When Jim Harbaugh was with the Niners, I think it was something on average that he needed to have about 120 yards per game. And it ended up being like a very, very big, obviously the Niners had a really good season all around, when they had a run game really going. So you got two backs right now that can make that happen. I mean, which is great. So I'm excited to be able to see this.
And like Raheem Sanders, guys, he was a draftable player, right? Remember that, right? George T said, no, we had him in the 7th round, 5th round, 6th round, whatever. So the fact that he fell as an undrafted free agent is amazing.
Yeah.
And I think Kamani Vidal looks better. He looks bigger, apparently. He looks better, and he worked a lot. So just saying, I think we're going to be fine, right? And Najee Harris has not missed a single game in the NFL. That says a lot. Omarion Hampton is a freaking bowling ball. So I don't know. It could be very interesting to see how this plays out.
Yeah,
definitely.
I mean, I'm excited to see. Like, I mean, that's like one of the top. Is you think there's going to be a battle for the running back position? Like, I mean, do you think Najee Harris might lose out the position to Hampton? Like,
I mean, we'll see. We'll see it all. We'll see where it all ends up going, because I mean, there's a thing of like where it's going to go, where it's going to end up being like, I think it's going to be like 1st down, 2nd down, 3rd down, 4th down type back. Who's going to be those guys? I think it's going to be running back by committee too. I don't think it's going to be something where you're going to like say, hey, look, situational. It's probably going to end up being like a situational type thing.
I think
all
so
right,
too.
Najee, this drive, we're going to let you do the 1st down, 2nd down. If there's a short yardage situation, we feel Omarion Hampton does better. Short yardage, blah, 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 blah. It's all situational at this point.
Yep, I think so too.
I don't think it's going to be, and it's going to be game-to-game difference. So
here's my question, though. Are we going to run 4 running backs this year? Probably. That could be crazy, dude. 4 running backs could be nuts. But again, it would mean 4 running backs, though, man. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think that's going to be a very interesting conversation, because will Kamani Vidal make it to the practice squad? I would think he probably would. But I don't know. You never know.
Yep. We'll see. Well, let's jump into real quick one of the plays that PFF pointed out to with their routes and everything like that too, and just kind of give you an idea of what Greg Roman's potentially going to do with this offense. If it's going to be a little bit more different than it's going to be from 2024, are we going to keep seeing a lot of these jumbo style type packages here where, last year the Chargers ran a whole heck of a lot of 260 plus players on the O-line stacked together, just like this play right here. And, it kind of made the defense kind of play a little bit more of a bundle type situation. And it kind of left who's going to be where, who's going to do what, which guy's going to run whatever route, trying to find a lot of individual man-on-man type situations here. So this became a play-action play, obviously single back at this point, bundle type situation or a jumbo package. Players are going out. That's what they want to do. They want to push people downfield. Now go back to the stats that we talked about. Justin Herbert had the most, I believe, 10-plus yard type passes. We're probably going to see that again a lot this season, right?
Yeah.
We're probably going to see a lot of that. Justin Herbert under center doing a lot of play action.
Oh, yeah.
I think this is
Jimbo likes the jumbo.
That's right. Yeah.
So one thought I had on this too, guys, it makes me wonder also how many wide receivers we're going to carry on this team.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Hey, guys, we drafted 3 wide receivers, right? We got Mike Williams. He's going to make the team. I'm just saying, like, it could be really hard for us to see a lot of wide receivers actually make the 53-man squad. If we're running packages like this, there's one wide receiver out there, but you could put Oronde Gadsden and Tyler Conklin out there. Well, Will Disley, I'm just saying, the combination of who's making this team is going to be very interesting. So, it's again, like I said, like the 53-man roster, it's going to be pretty disappointing for some people. Some of our guys, hell, we might even let people walk. That's why Jalen Rager is probably going to have a hard time. Brennan Rice can make the squad. Who knows? We'll see how that plays out. I'm just saying. Well, maybe I'll land my plane. It'll probably also matter who does well in the preseason games, right? Yeah. So that's going to be the big tryout as well too. So,
I've always wondered that too. Is like sometimes I feel like the coaches, they've already kind of decided before preseason, like who they want. Like, and it's kind of like, it's a bit unfortunate for a lot of players, I'm sure, but I really hope that like the players can actually put something on a resume, at least for a highlight reel, to secure their spot in a game. Like as opposed to be like, oh yeah, I just didn't perform in practice. That sucks.
Well, apparently, DJ Ungale is actually looking better than. God, why do I keep forgetting his name? Trey Lance. I keep forgetting Trey Lance's name. So I'm just saying, like, Trey Lance is one of the biggest. Sign him as the third guy over Trey Lance. Trey Lance is getting paid a lot more money, right? So, but then again, NFL Mike saying KLS takes a spot. Yeah, he hasn't been able to be out there, so we haven't seen anything from him so far.
Yeah, well, and it's interesting thing too. Like I saw this 53-man squad that somebody put together, and I can't remember which article it was, but they actually didn't have Darius Davis on the team. Yeah. And so I was thinking, well, is KLS going to take that spot? Now think about what Darius Davis brings to this team. Like he had some phenomenal catches last year.
Yeah.
Smaller body guy though, too. Once again, not a Harbaugh guy that he drafted per se. KLS does have a whole heck of a lot of speed. Could he be a punt returner, kickoff returner guy for us kind of thing? So that's where these training camp battles are going to be big. Like that's where a lot of these things needs going to be sorted out. Cause there is, even at the tight end thing too, you got Fisk too. You got obviously Gadsden. You got, oh my gosh, why am I blanking right now? Will Disley. And then you end up, yeah, exactly. So we got some really, really good players. The tight end, are we going to go 4 tight ends? Is Fisk going to find his way there too? I'm not sure. I would probably say yes. There's going to be 4 tight ends because we love running these type of sets here, these big old jumbo sets. It's going to be a tough offseason. A lot of interesting battles all around. The preseason is going to tell you a lot. Go back to Austin Eckler. He was able to get a job because he showed up in the last game of the season and found a way on a team and had a very good career all around with the Chargers. So
yeah. I think it's going to be crazy, right? Okay. We got our first super chat here.
Hey, let's go.
Hey,
let's go.
We're going to have a dominant
right?
O and D. Dominant.
O and D.
Yeah.
But no, I agree. I think we're going to be good. I think we're going to be top 10 in both. I really do. I'm not, we've gotten better. We've just gotten better, right? And second year under this team, same coaching staff across the board. I think the defense is going to be just as good, if not better. Yeah, you can argue all day about Puna Ford, but I think our offense has gotten way better. So
yeah, our offensive line definitely took a huge boost this offseason. Yep. Getting Becton was amazing, and switching Johnson to center might be actually a massive idea for him. Too. So. I'm excited, man. I'm definitely excited. I think our offense is going to really step up. Our defense was dominant last year, so
yeah, it was.
And our offense was the one that was struggling the most. And so I think we filled that up. We good.
I think we'll be good, man. And I'm looking forward to this offense, and I think it's only going to be elevated this season too.
Yes,
and,
I agree.
And go back to even Greg Roman's conversation and interview that he had with Chargers Weekly. He's like, hey, man, like we had kind of a hobbled Justin Herbert that couldn't move. And so we had a limited playbook. That's where my hopes and my hot take is that I think Justin Herbert's going to have his most healthiest season this year. So maybe we should make a hat that says make Herbert healthy again. Kind of.
There you go. There you go.
That would be a pretty funny hat too. But all around, I think it's going to be a really, really good season all around for us. And I think this playbook will open up, which Greg Roman did allude to that too, that they are going to open up the playbook too. So as long as everything works out, all the stars and the moons lined up for us, I think this is going to be a high-powered offense all around. So
One thing I want to point out on this play too, again, you could run play action or you could throw out of this too, right? So obviously this is throwing out of it, but you're still going to fake the handoff to the running back, hopefully bring a linebacker, maybe the safety down, and then you beat him deep, right? That's the whole point. And so my question is Herbert at the line making the decision whether it's a run or a pass as he's at the line, right? Because they might say, okay, we'll run this as a run. And then he gets to the line and everyone starts, scooching in. And you're like, okay, well, they're going to bite on it. Let's play action, throw over the top. So I'm wondering if because I haven't really heard much about him having the flexibility to make the audible, the change to a run over the pass. But I guess my point is what's interesting about this formation is you could run, they run, or the pass out of it either way. And that's why the play action is so valuable.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I get it. It's great. I mean, I think it's going to be an interesting thing to see how this offense develops. I mean, even to go back and go to defense, and I know we're talking more offense than anything here. Defense even talked about that. Hey, we're more of a zone kind of situation. But, if we have the personnel to do, man, we'll gladly do it. We'll keep people on their toes, essentially, because we'll shift around. So who knows what Greg Roman season 2 might be? I mean, I think a lot of people give a lot of slack on like who he is and what his history's been, but maybe he'll make some adjustments this season and we'll have a whole different type of offense. What if we're going to go 4 wide? Maybe we'll do a lot more. We have a pretty good wide receiver group too. So it's going to be interesting to see where we end up going and develop this season for this offense. Now, moving on to just another play, very similar look all around, but
it's the same thing.
Same thing. Jumbo package. You just want to have a ton of people on the line. You want to protect Justin Herbert. The reason why they look at the defense, there are so many people in the box there, potentially could put out a lot of one-on-one type of matchups on the outside. Bring in the defense to make it harder for them to figure out where we're going to go and who's going to be going out of whatever route kind of thing.
Yeah.
So,
right.
One thing that was cool about these videos too, and these screenshots, and I should have probably added it to the slides. The offensive line did a great job even during these type of plays. Justin Herbert was able to get the ball downfield to either touchdown or really, really long play, or like basically over a 20+ yard type play. Mm-hmm. But the offensive line did a great job. Obviously, when you got an offensive line with like extra men like this, yes, you're going to have more than enough basically people on the line, to be able to block who's in front of you. So bottom line, if the offensive line was able to give big plays to Justin Herbert last year, which wasn't the best of offensive line, you add a Mekhi Becton, you kind of shift this center around and the left guard, we could have a phenomenal pocket always for Justin Herbert and also for the run game to produce. So
but this isn't anything super crazy. I mean, this is like offense 101, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
But again, it's like, okay, good example. The RPO is not it's pretty damn basic. All you're doing is if you're handing the ball off, if the edge is crashing down, then you tuck the ball and then run around the edge as a quarterback keeper, right? Or if the edge stays in a spot, then you just hand the ball off, right? You're just trying to get a numbers advantage for that one gap or that one specific player. That's it. That's all it is. Yeah. That's what this is too, right? So, okay. So depending on what they come at you, well, they came out with like a bear front. I mean, there's 5 on the line right there. So you're like, okay, they're expecting a run. Let's pass it, right? So you get a numbers advantage in the backfield. So I'm just saying, it's like, again, it's not rocket science. We can overthink it all the time. What has worked in the past will work in the future. I guess that's another thing what I'm saying too. You don't have to overthink it too much.
Yeah, and just to say these big jumbo packages too, we talked about it earlier in the show, and I want to say it was like a really astronomical number, but I want to say it was like 200 something plays where we had 260-pound dudes plus on the O-line, and the next closest team was like 30 of those type of plays. Like they basically just wanted to make sure we have as many dudes on the line to protect Justin Herbert, make sure you put just size on size, make sure that you get the best opportunity for players to go out there and Justin Herbert to perform the way he needs to perform. So I think it's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be one of those things that I think they're going to do again this season. I think, why not? And we got such a big O-line right now. Now, let's just say our starting 5 O-line could just hold it down without not needing all this type of, players on the line. Well, that just gives us more targets to be able to work with. gives us more ability to throw more players out there and make plays happen. So,
Yeah.
and you got to remember too, the running back is also a blocker too in this situation too. So, once again, great.
And by the way, that's one thing that is very understated too, where Omarion Hampton and Najee Harris, and obviously Raheem Sanders, I guess, has shown this as well too. They like protecting the quarterback. So, and that's where Kamani Vidal struggles a little bit, right? He's a little undersized, you know. And so I'm just saying, like, yes, running the ball is great, but protecting the quarterback is also very important, right? Let's make sure Herbert stays healthy. I mean, he's our $1 million man, as we know. So, anyways, it's another thing to just kind of remember.
Someone in the chat actually did call me out on it, and he said, actually, every injury that Justin Herbert has had during a game has been in the pocket. So, my logic is flawed for him to not run around a lot more, you know. But so I'm like, okay, well, I mean that is fair. That is fair. But that does still prove the point. Protect the guy in the pocket, you know.
Well, I'll add a little caveat to that. What was it, week 2 last year against the Panthers? Herbert hurt his ankle running to the side, and we're up 16 points. It's like, why'd you even do that? Like, so again,
that is true.
You still got to play the game. Speaking of which, I ripped a tit on Friday. Just cranked one. Just freaking beautiful. Just a straight piss missile to the fence, right? I mean, I don't know. I'm so sad I didn't go out, but like I literally hit the top of the fence. I was so angry. I'm rounding first base. No joke. I put my right foot on first base. No joke. It slid. I practically did the splits. I thought I was going to just, I kid you not, I was going to rip a butt muscle or something, dude. It was bad. Luckily, I didn't hurt myself at all. But so I'm just saying, like,
so funny.
Things happen, right? When you scramble and yada yada, and you know,
when you're excited about something, like, hey, you know, it's just like this video. It's all like the dude putting his kids away, then he stepped on the little race car thing and like really just
exactly.
And just fell to the ground.
So good.
He won the battle, but the kids won the war.
That's exactly it.
Anyway, so I mean, look, like you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. But again, I think there's a right and wrong way to have the quarterback run, right? All right, I want you to run in this situation, you know, yada yada, right? So there's, I'm sure there'll be, you know, planned runs for him here and there.
Yep, and I think that's the thing. I think the idea about having him run is to be more aware when he can run and take those yards and be smart about when he runs, kind of thing.
Correct.
And I think that's the whole thing too. I mean, go back to his Rose Bowl game that he had last game when he was Oregon. He ran the ball and got 3 touchdowns or 4 touchdowns in that game. So like, hey, why not? Why not? He's got the ability. Just moving on to one of the other plays here too. This is against Arizona Cardinals. You know, ideally, this is a little bit of a different look all around, but at the same side, you know, you got 2 wide receivers top, you got tight ends in the bottom 2. You got guys that are basically a little bit more spread out, but putting a lot more one-on-one type situation potential on this type of thing. It's about neutralizing players pretty much, more or less, with our look. Try to basically get ability to be able to get somebody out there to make something happen. Now, what I believe this pass play went to was the slot player there. I can't remember who it is there in the slot there, top left. Basically, the pass ended up going. I think it's Jalen Reagor. I think this is Jalen Reagor's catch.
Oh, that's one where he caught it and then dropped it.
Yep.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Jeez. And so this was a great play all around that ended up giving. And obviously, Jalen Reagor is a very fast wide receiver, so he could get to the point pretty quickly. But the beautiful thing about it is that, you know, using the speed in the slot to be able to get a guy deep route type situation did well. You got obviously the running back there blocking and everything too, but just a slightly different format. I kind of think this still would be something that they're going to end up going. I mean, there's only so many different type of offenses you could throw out there and different looks, but I think we're going to probably keep things, you know, similar to what we're seeing here too. But we got a lot more weapons in the wide receiver and tight end room, so we'll see where it ends up going.
Well, and then my other comment I made is that there's only 2 wide receivers out on the field right there, right? And so how many wide receivers are we really going to need to carry on this team? And the argument is almost more tight ends than wide receivers now at this point. So I don't know. It's something to really think about moving forward. But, you know, I don't know. I'm telling you, 53-man roster is going to be very interesting. And we're gonna, wide ends. Wide ends are always needed.
Yep. Wide ends is going
Wide
to
end.
I think wide ends is going to be more important to the team.
It's a new role. It's a new role.
It's a new role.
It's no
that's
big
right.
deal.
Yeah.
That's right.
There you go. Because we need those cornbread wide ends.
Cornbread, dude.
Yep.
Cornbread, dude.
Cornbread wide.
Yep.
That's right. Just to end real quick on the last little play here too, which I really liked in the way that this worked out, is basically they had the tight end right here pretty much neutralize this player to allow this player to run out here to the flat, give him the ability to go behind the defense, be able to allow him to just have a great like one-on-one, very open type situation here too. So, it's all about neutralizing players once again. And I think that's the way that Greg Roman operates his offense, is that he wants players to just take out somebody so it allows somebody else to be open. It's a team game, correct? It's not an I in team. It's a we kind of thing type situation. So, everybody does this, they execute correctly there. That allows this player to basically execute correctly in another area. So I'm thinking Greg Roman's going to have a pretty solid offense all around this season. And once again, we already went through a lot of different type of plays. We went through a lot of different, positions of everything too. This offense is going to be, I think, dynamite. I think it's going to be a dynamite offense all around.
And we had it limited a lot last year too.
Very
because
much.
of Herbert's.
Yeah.
Very much.
So,
dynamite.
That's right. Dynamite.
Dynamite.
Well, I think it's going to be interesting to see. But I'll give you my final thoughts. I truly believe our offense is going to be great. I think we're top 10 offense, top 10 defense. I don't know if this is the year that we become the top 5 offense, but I think we could easily be top 5 defense for sure. So I think we might lag a little bit on offense because I think there's some good offensive teams out there.
Yep.
Sure.
But we got rookies. We'll see how that plays out. I think it's really going to depend on how our rookies. How is Trey Harris going to stack up? KLS, is he going to play? What to go? But look, I think top 10 offense, top 10 defense, it's going to be great. So it's sky's the limit. And I will say this, one last thought, that Greg Roman was very clear. We had to limit the offense because of Justin Herbert's injuries. So the fact that they can finally open up the playbook completely for him, I'm excited to see what that means, right? I think there was a lot of, let's not roll him out, let's not do this and that, So take the gloves off, let him get out there and play. So it should be exciting.
100%.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Greg Roman unleash Justin Herbert this year. Because it'll be fantastic. And the fact that we have a running game this year like that, could be amazing, and that's just going to give us so many more options. I really feel like, so I'm I'm very hopeful. Like I said, we should probably do a little in-depth analysis, like on the other teams or whatever, just to really kind of decipher if they are going to be as good as they were last year. Because I know what's his name, Athir Kadir, whatever, he was basically saying, he's like, nah, man, those other teams are not going to be good this year. So let's see that. Let's put the proof in the pudding.
And a lot of people talk about the Chiefs' offensive line being weak this season. Now,
They're weak, bro. They're weak.
We'll see, man. I mean, we're going to be the team to go against them. First round, first game. That's us in Brazil. So, I mean, can our D-line expose their offensive line? And that's going to be a big key of that game. Very, very early key to the game, too. But that's really what's going to matter, because even to say our D-line still kind of gets a little bit suspect in my side, too. But my last thoughts is, look, we got plenty of weapons on this offense. I think Greg Roman's going to have more than enough offensive weapons to work with. And it's going to be a lot of tough cuts like what we talked about, too. But Justin Herbert is going to have a pocket to be able to do what he needs to do. I think, once again, it's just about trying to be that smart quarterback when he needs to run or when he should use his legs to extend a play or basically get what he can get out of whatever amount of yards. Like I said, he's got the opportunity, quick couple reads, and then he can make a decision right then and there to run if he can get 7-10 yards or whatever it might be. It's going to be interesting. And I don't think this offense is going to change dramatically, but I do think that there's going to be a lot more playmakers out there too. Ladd McConkey was really holding up the fort for our offense big time. Will Dissly stepped up a lot too. Now you got Tyler Conklin, Oronde Gadsden, this guy that wants to push to get playing time too. It's going to be a fun offense. And I think this offense could get to such a high level too. And we have a great mixture of vet and rookies right now that I think this team could be basically elevated on a high level with the offense. I'm kind of putting us at top 12 in offense. Okay. I think we could be one of the best run teams in the league, which is I think is going to be the more key stat for everybody else to be able to eat. So, so I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. Season's there, guys. We're almost in July.
Cue the quote from Chargers Truther: "Run the ball." Yeah,
run the ball, dude. Exactly. So I think we'll be a top 3 run team in this year, in my opinion.
Well, and again, that's where it's where the play action pass matters. That's where all of that stuff matters. And we have so many conversations around all of that. If you can just get that running game to go, everything else opens up. Everything else opens up. And so it's you got to have both. You got to have both. So
no
it's going to be exciting.
Super exciting.
Well, appreciate you guys logging in, joining the show, man. We appreciate you guys. Once again, season's almost here, guys. So get ready, man. Stay bolted up, boys.
Absolutely. Bolted up forever, baby. All right.
Let's get it.
Bros.
All right.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Bros, let's go. Woo.
Hey, what's up? Camaraderie here watching the Bolt Bros podcast.